These are the trending topics this morning. First up, hashtag 51st budget speech. And this, of course, anticipated today. The Finance Minister, Enoch Godongwana, will this afternoon deliver this speech. And against a backdrop of a lot of strain and pressure on the economy, on South Africans in general, on businesses to survive, it's going to be interesting to see how the minister does this balancing act. And, of course, quite a lot being spoken about this. And also our focus in our question of the day. But of course, this is the big talking point for South Africa today to see how the money is going to be spent. Right, let's just take a look at our question of the day, seeing that it relates to that. What are your expectations for Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana's 2023 budget speech? Let us know. Let's hear your thoughts, South Africa, on what you think ought to be done. And looking at South Africa's budget and expenditure, where do you think the money ought to be spent? At Morning Live SABC, and of course we'll share some of your responses with the rest of the country. Let's take a look at the next one now. Hashtag fed up with load shedding, and boy are South Africans fed up, because now we're on stage 6 load shedding, and there was a report about, again, is the president shocked really that we are on stage 6 load shedding? And some people pointing out that it always seems when the president leaves the country, we are ramped up to stage 6, and whether he comes back or not, it makes no material difference. But generally, South Africans are saying that this is not on. And as you can see, people resorting to all sorts of things. I don't know, this looks so dangerous. I don't know, I'm just uncomfortable with the heater being the wrong way up, the gas, but this is what desperation does, guys. You've got to eat, and if your power is out for hours on end, what do you do? Because you've still got to get your life moving. So stage 6 load shedding, and South Africans really heartful at this stage. But what can you do? What is government going to do? The president promised us a minister of electricity. Well, that was 2 weeks ago. And if it is such a crisis, where's the minister of electricity? So people talking about that. They're talking about Eskom and the mess that is Eskom with its inaptitude and being incapable of resolving this crisis at the moment. One of the tweets I read was talking about the excuses from Eskom for the breakdown of units, and talking about, for example, at Letabo Power Station, once again, coal getting wet, the quality of coal. None of this is new. So why are we still hearing all of these? But also interesting with Letabo, where they spoke about the coal that was available. Isn't Eskom supposed to have a certain quantity of coal available, stockpiles available at power stations for a certain number of days at any given point in time? So when you say because of the rains and the floods, suddenly you don't have enough coal, when did that happen? Why is that a valid excuse? And I think as South Africans, we need to be asking the right questions of our leaders at the various entities. But that's where South Africans are talking on Twitter about being fed up with load shedding. Let's move to the next one, the Ukraine-Russian war. And of course, this is the week leading up to the anniversary, the start of this particular war a year ago. We had US President Joe Biden making that trip to Kiev earlier in the week, seen there in that picture with the Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky. And of course, the Russian President Vladimir Putin also giving a speech this week in which he, among other things, was intimating that the U.S. is probably fueling this particular war further, and also claiming that perhaps Ukraine has asked for nuclear support for this particular war effort. So that's all happening. It's not going to die down anytime soon.